Rock Sugar Magic is brought to you by Florida Boy Inc. If you like Duck Dynasty or Swamp People, you'll love what Florida Boy has cooking up. It's Florida Boy INC, Florida Boy Inc. on Instagram. Head over there and tell them we sent you. Matt Scannell, Vertical Horizon. Thank you for being on Rock Sugar Magic.
Thanks for having me, Carrie. I'm glad to be here.
Oh my gosh, of course. Are you kidding me? First of all, congratulations. It's the 25th anniversary of Everything She Wants.
Yeah.
Which is crazy because it's June 15th.
Yes.
My father passed away on June 15th.
Oh.
Yeah. Like 2 dates. No, it's
Wow.
okay. It's okay. I'm totally I'm fine with it, made peace with it, love him to death. He's with me. But I just looked at that and I'm like, oh, wow.
Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss.
Oh, it's okay. It's 10 years. We're good. He's
know,
with me. I really, I'm good. People always think it's a sad thing to mention him.
Right.
And it's not.
Yeah.
I'm I love him. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, kind of a legend.
Kinda, yeah. He probably announced your record.
I remember hearing him announce our record along the way. And it was, as a kid growing up, listening to the top 40, he was part of our lives. He was part of our week,
Yeah.
And you wouldn't dare to dream that someday you would be on his show.
Yeah.
You just wouldn't.
Yeah.
You'd never dream it. So that was incredible. Just absolutely incredible.
Yeah, it's I've heard many people say, when I heard Casey Kasem announce my song, I knew I had made it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that many times, and it's like, wow, that is how much of an impact my dad made on musicians and music and people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he is a legend.
Yeah,
he is a legend.
You. Yeah, he's awesome, and his show's still doing well on Sirius and terrestrial radio.
Great.
AM, FM. So and new generations are hearing him, which I think is super awesome.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah. What's also fantastic is this song, a lot of your songs, many, but when there's a song that takes you back to something, and that's Everything You Want, and it just takes me back to a relationship I had. It takes me back, the words. And I was reading the comments on YouTube, and there's still people to this day, just 2 days ago, commenting about how much that song meant to them. And, it was a multi-platinum record. It blew you guys up, into the stratosphere.
Yeah.
And it's still going strong.
It is. Unbelievable. I feel like I should say I had nothing to do with it. I know I was there. I know I wrote it, and I know we recorded the record. But then it sort of blossoms out into the ether, becomes part of people's lives. Maybe it meant something to you.
Yeah.
And, 25 years later, it's still out there. And the other thing that's really great is now we're at the stage where we have sort of generations. So, back in the early 2000s, people in their 20s, whatever, listened to it, loved it maybe, and then they had kids, and then they introduced their kids to it. And now we even have grandparents who introduce their kids, who introduce their, the grandkids to it.
Yeah.
So I think it is a special record, and I think in particular that song, Knock on Couch, it seems to be sticking around, which is great.
Yeah, no, it does. And there's a vinyl release too.
Yes. RCA Sony did a translucent orange vinyl limited edition repressing to celebrate the 25th anniversary. So that's cool.
That is awesome. I wish I could say I could put it up on my wall.
Yeah.
Of my vinyls that are no longer there.
Well, we'll have to see if we can usurp one of those.
Give me a cover. Give me just a cover, because these are not my vinyls. And I was telling I haven't even told this story yet on my podcast. I got all these vinyls. I really searched for every album. Painstakingly went through what are my favorite, groups from the 80s and 90s and my favorite albums. And they're not cheap, right?
No.
So I went and I bought a ton of them when the show first started.
Right.
I don't know, Sid, how many shows actually have my vinyls on them? The first 3 or 4?
I think 2.
First 2. Yeah, great. Great. So the first 2 shows. Okay, so, and I have another studio in Vegas. And I'm thinking, well, maybe they're in Vegas.
Right.
They're nowhere. So either people took them or I've lost them.
Yeah.
Or they're somewhere in my garage because I cannot find any of them.
It's sort of like the Great Vinyl Incident. I feel like we could drill down on this. Like it might have been like some sort of black ops thing in the middle of the night. We got to get Carrie's vinyl.
Somebody took them.
Did you ever get like any hostage notes or,
No,
like,
I have your vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how much it's going to cost you to get back. No, okay. I'm just so upset. But now that I realize that you can't see the entire wall unless you take a picture.
Right.
I'm just going to get 3.
That's all you need.
That's all I need.
Okay.
Well,
we'll try to get 3 Everything You Want vinyls back there.
That would be amazing.
And we're going to super glue them to the wall so that they just can't be removed.
That would be, I don't know if Sid would be so happy, but, but I can totally do it.
Well, I guess we could get into sponsorship.
Yes. You can put the sponsorships behind you.
Yes.
Okay. So that is very true, actually. Oh, great. Now my sponsor would be like, hey, can we do that?
Oh, sorry.
I'm cutting that
Cut
part
that out. They can't do it.
It's gone. It's
no,
gone.
it's a Stevie Wonder record, man.
So
We're not going to put something up there for Kleenex.
Yeah. So you were talking to me, like you walk in and the first 2 minutes, you're like, oh, I got to tell you about these greens. They're so good.
I want a sponsor.
Okay, what is it?
It's Athletic Greens.
Okay, what are athletic? Because I take greens every day.
Okay, so don't take those greens anymore. They call it, I should feel like I should be talking to camera. AG1 is what they call this
AG1.
stuff.
Okay, so what's in it?
So I don't know what's in it. Everything's in it. It tastes good. It's a bit temperature dependent. So we want it to be cool.
So does it have to be in the fridge?
I'd prefer that it was for you. Okay. When you shake it all up and you do the little thing where if you have like the snobby mixer thing, and then put it in the refrigerator, give yourself a little time just for the first impression, but it's a delightful taste. More importantly, health person, it's a delightful feeling. Your whole body. I think I feel it in my corpuscles. And I'm not exactly sure what a corpuscle feels like, but I'm pretty sure that AG1 goes right there.
What it's doing, it sounds like, is taking all the inflammation out of your body.
I think so.
So you start to feel really good. You have energy.
Yes.
It nourishes all your cells. Now, I had Lyme disease for 11 years, and I talk about it on almost every show, so I'm not going to go into it. But I really got super, super healthy, and part of that regimen was taking phytoplankton and chlorella, which is like super greens, right?
Okay.
So I would take them and I would feel this energy. My brain would work for a while, more than coffee, more than caffeine.
Wow.
And it didn't give you that jittery feeling.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh, it felt so good. And I bet you it's the same kind of stuff.
Well, here's what's going to happen at the end of this interaction. I need to write down your greens.
Okay.
Your green recipe, because if you dealt with that for 11 years and you did I just had a glass of AG1 and I thought it tasted good. You've been like,
this is not good.
You've been pounding the pavement. Oh, does it not taste good?
Oh, no.
Right.
You drink it down because you have
Got
to.
it.
Now, you can put some, I did end up doing some electrolytes.
Okay.
No sugar because I'm off no sugar.
Yeah.
So I did these electrolytes in it and it was palatable. Like I could drink it.
But why? I feel like you tell me electrolytes and that just doesn't sound enticing.
Well, it makes the greens go from like mud and swamp water, which I call it my swamp water mix. That's what I call it, to a little better. And
right. Yes. And I guess anything that can take it away from mud and swamp water, even a little bit, is preferable.
It is. I mean, but I can do the swamp water.
I can tell.
Yes, I can.
Like when you said you use the phrase "get it down." So like, I believe that you have the correct outlook on this. It's like some things you just got to do.
You just do
for
it.
health.
That's right.
Get it down.
That's right.
That's all.
That's right.
Good job.
Thank you very much. I'm gonna try these greens though, and I will give you mine.
It's probably gonna be like the nice, like for like the general populace version of what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is 100% not swamp water.
Okay, so it tastes good.
Yeah, but there's no sugar in it.
Good.
There's probably electrolytes that make it taste better.
Probably. No, it's probably like stevia or monk fruit, hopefully.
I don't even know.
Hopefully.
Yeah, maybe.
You know what's crazy? I was just in Europe.
Can we call AG1 right now?
Yes, we can do it. Get him on the phone.
Guys.
Get him on the phone. I was in Europe and Nothing had sugar in it. You had to ask for it. So
Right.
I was getting coffees, and I'm so used to going, what is the non-dairy alternative that doesn't have sugar in it?
Right.
Every single place I went to in Norway or in Dublin, they didn't have sugar.
Right.
You had to ask for it. Here, you have to ask for them not to put sugar in
You
it.
do. You
It's
have to
in
beg.
everything.
It is.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Dutch Brothers, who I love you guys, this coffee place, because they do sugar-free drinks.
Yeah.
They don't have one creamer that doesn't have sugar in it.
So now, can I reel you back for a sec?
Yeah.
Monk fruit sweetener.
Yeah.
Is it good for us?
It's way better. It doesn't raise your glycemic index.
Okay.
And it's a natural sweetener.
Okay.
Which is very good. People like it better than stevia. I think it's better for you than stevia. People
Right.
there's now stevia is not good for you. Well, neither is sugar.
Right.
I'd rather take the stevia.
Got it.
I don't do aspartame or any of those fake sugars.
Right.
It's just literally neurological poison.
Right.
And we wonder why people can't think. You have brain fog. You feel sick. You're drinking those Diet Cokes and those diet drinks.
Yeah.
But now they're getting smart too and going to stevia and
Right.
monk fruit. Yeah.
So monk fruit would be your preferred sweetener.
That's my go-to.
All right.
Yeah.
This is very
Good to
helpful.
know, right?
I love this. I'm learning. I'm learning things, Kerri.
People are like, you've got Matt Scannell on and you're talking about monk fruit.
Well,
Okay.
I want to learn. I want to be healthy.
No, and I do a lot of health podcasts.
Well, I can tell.
Yeah, I do.
mean, you said like chlorinacephrisipane.
That's right. Just that exactly.
That-
You should take that.
You were like, I got that, and I did that, and Florida Lopin.
Exactly. There you go.
They
You know them both.
They just rolled off your tongue.
Yeah, phytoplankton and chlorella.
Phytoplankton.
There you go.
Say it in casual
There you go.
conversation.
Yeah.
Oh, I aspire to be
Yes.
more like you.
Well, your A1, it's getting there. It's just easy, right?
AG1. It's even easy to say.
AG1.
No, but think of it. And see, now I have my doubts about AG1.
Oh, no.
I
I'll take
do.
a look at it.
It's so easy to say. I
Look,
feel
we're
like
going to have to cut that if you want them as your sponsor.
no, but I feel like they could show up. They could be like,
Okay.
they could prove it to us.
Here, let's prove it to you
They'd be
guys.
like, we know the guy who sings thinks he likes AG1,
Yeah.
but the health source
Yeah.
on the other side of the room here, let's prove it to her.
Sure.
That's what I say.
Yeah,
AG1.
guaranteed they'd probably win in a taste test.
Oh, it's delightful. And it feels good. Okay, anyways, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
moving on.
This is our AG1 ad.
Go back to. Okay, I listened to you say this, and I love this because I think it's so interesting that you've written stuff when it's come to you in your dreams.
Yes. Oh,
That
those
is-
are the best.
I've wanted that to happen to me. I'll think of an idea, wake
Yeah.
up and write it down. Because I've heard people keep notepads
Yes.
by their bed, and an idea will come, or even a recorder, and they'll just hum it.
Yes.
Okay, so how does that work for you?
Well, so it is, first of all, you always have to be ready for inspiration. So your point about the notebook and the recorder.
Yeah.
Now, fortunately, as time has gone on, our phones become very convenient recorders. But you have to be diligent because inspiration, I find those sounds, those moments, those ideas are pretty quiet and they're pretty shy. So if you don't pay attention to them and sort of lead them out into the light, they will just disappear into the ether and go away somewhere else. I think of songwriting very often as just receiving. It's less about creating and more about receiving.
Wow.
So Everything You Want, for example, and this is sort of the extreme example of that, but I was living in New York City. I had an apartment in Chelsea, and around 4 o'clock in the morning, I heard that idea. I call it the mantra at the beginning of the song, the that thing.
Yep.
I heard it in my mind, and I sort of rolled over, thought, I'll remember this in the morning. It sounds good, but I'm sleeping. I rolled over and went back to sleep. But about 10 minutes later, I heard the chord progression that goes underneath it and the acoustic guitars at the beginning of the song. And I thought, well, that's incredible. Those two parts would go well together probably. In my sleep stupor, I thought this. And then I kind of rolled over and went back to sleep and promised to try to remember it in the morning. And then about 15 minutes later, I heard from start to finish the entire chorus He's everything you want. He's everything you need. He's everything inside of you that you wish you could be. The whole thing. I heard the kick drum pattern, the bass, the guitar tones, the harmony vocal, the whole thing. And it was, I believe, sort of that kind of thing. I was sort of enticing it out into existence. I was kind of allowing it to come to me.
Wow.
Having said that, I also was being a bit of a jerk because I was rolling over and not documenting the stuff I was hearing.
Right.
But if that happens to you once or twice, you learn and you get up, you wake up. But yeah, it's an amazing thing, and I do believe that. So I think similar to maybe like an athlete who really pays a lot of attention to conditioning. I think as a songwriter, if you just keep yourself in motion, fluid with your melodies, with your observations of words and listening to what people say. You sit down in a restaurant and you hear someone having a conversation. You're not trying to be a creep, but you hear someone say something that's kind of beautiful and you think, well, maybe that's something, maybe I could nudge that around a little bit and turn that into a lyric, into a song.
Have you done that before?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where you've heard somebody.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And it's not even necessarily like they've said something very unique in the moment. It's almost more like you're sitting, you're walking by someone and you hear them say something like, we'll wait for the light. And then maybe they're talking about taking a picture.
Sure.
Right? But then you think to yourself, and I'm just riffing right now. I don't know, but like they have a camera in their hands. They're saying, "We'll wait for the light." But then you hear that phrase and you think, well, what does that mean in a different context? And maybe in a different context, that becomes a beautiful song about like a relationship where someone's trying to find the truth and they're looking for the truth in the other person, and all they're kind of seeing is the darkness, and they want to wait for the light. And I don't know, but being receptive to it, being open to it, I think is hugely important. And also too, now I'm 54 years old, so I think when you're young, those ideas just are fast and furious.
We are young.
Well,
we are young. Let's take that back. We'll roll that back a little bit. I'm going to be 52 on Friday, so we are
you're
young.
Killing 52.
We are young.
You are crushing 50. 52 was like, I can't handle how awesome she is. I'm running away. But no, I mean, I feel very young. One of my best friends had this saying: when he would meet somebody, he would look in their eyes and see if their inner 14-year-old was still alive.
Yeah.
And I believe that is sort of the kind of like microwave, like get to the truth fastest when you're meeting somebody. Like, and when I looked in your eyes, I was like, she's still 14 years old.
Oh, I have such a spirit of play.
Which is great.
Oh yeah.
Right. I mean, so there is youth, right? But at the same time, I also believe, there are changes that occur in our bodies, in our minds over time. And the creative act, I believe, when you're young is, it's bursting forth. But then over time, I also believe you have to work at it. You have to stay conditioned like an athlete and, keep yourself, I try to stay fascinated by the process. And that really helps a lot.
Have there been times where things haven't come to you and you've actually had to sit down and kind of write and create, like it's not come to you?
Right. So I learned a long time ago not to phone anything in. And largely because if you write something that you don't believe in, that's going to be the song that the people down front request all night, every single night for the rest of your career. And you'll be sitting there going, why did I write that? Or why didn't I do a better job of writing that?
Do you think that's why people don't like playing certain songs, because they feel like it's not true for them?
I think that's a very astute observation, and I think it's very plausible that people who have had hits with songs that for some reason kind of over time began to rub them the wrong way could either have been they were writing something that they didn't really maybe even believe in the first place, or maybe there were forces at play that were kind of interfering. Maybe the label was nudging them this way or that way. I also think sometimes artists are given songs to record.
Yes.
And
yes.
they're not really invested in the lyric or the melody. It's not coming from a place inside their heart. So you can understand someone over time kind of pushing back against that.
Yeah, there are people that don't want to play their hits. It's like, wait, that's what we're going to see. We'll go.
Yeah.
If you play me your hits, I'll listen to your new stuff.
Yeah.
Sure.
Right.
It's a give and take.
Absolutely.
And I flew all the way over to Dublin to go see my favorite band, Rammstein, and if they wouldn't have played, like they've been around since, like you guys, the 90s.
Yeah.
And I would have been so disappointed.
Right.
I would have been so, but I would have loved watching them. And it was an amazing show. But
they are unbelievable.
They're so good.
Can I also say though, they really scare me.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if that, because you
they're
were like
so dark.
I mean, the darkness.
Oh, they're so dark.
And like the guy with the stuff on it, and
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
like,
yeah.
did he just crawl out of the earth? Maybe he crawled out of your mud slime drink.
Yeah, maybe he did. That's where he belongs. He should go back.
He
and
looks
do it.
fantastic though.
No, they are. Yeah, but they are dark. But it's funny because there's 2 or 3 guys that are super family guys, stay fit, stay healthy,
Right.
and the other 2
Right.
are like still rock stars,
Right. Right.
So yeah,
But yeah, if they hadn't played the songs that you love,
I would have been so bummed. I'm like
Totally.
flying all the way over there. I would
Yeah.
have been so bummed. But then you hear of people that just don't do that, and I don't know.
Well, I can only speak for myself, right? Because I haven't had that experience where I had a song sort of, pushed onto me that I didn't believe in or whatever,
Yeah.
and that I would be then expected to play. I'll play everything you want all night, every night, every time we play a show. Like, I'll just play it one after the other, back to back to back. I love that song. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm so grateful to that song. I'm so grateful to this record because it changed my life completely. I was living in New York City in a very small apartment. My grandmother had given me some money to chase my dream, to try to become a songwriter. And I would call her and she'd ask me how it was going, and I'd say, it's not going so great, but I'm trying. And she'd say, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you.
Oh.
Grandma Mary. And
Did she see your success?
She did.
Oh.
Yes, she did. Yeah.
I love that.
I know. It was incredible. It was incredible. And a bit of a side note. So she was born on the 4th of July. She lived till she was almost 109 years old. She passed away when she was just under 109 years old.
Wow.
And towards the end, her vision was kind of going, but we would go and we would play. Very often we'd be playing concerts on the 4th of July, so I wouldn't be able to be with her. And we've done a lot of shows for the military over the years. Those are the most important shows that we play. Yeah. And we were over in Iraq playing a concert for the troops over there, and I asked them to sing her happy birthday on my phone.
Wow.
And when I came back home, I played her the audio of the soldiers singing her happy birthday, and she just started crying, and she was
I would have started anybody listening to that.
She was so happy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. She really supported me.
My grandma, she wasn't blood related, but she's my grandma since I was born. We're 50 years and 1 day apart. So I'm July 12th, she's July 13th.
Wow.
We had so much in common, but she would go over the USO tours.
Yes.
And sing for the troops.
Yeah.
And
oh, wow.
yeah, it was awesome. My sister is born on 4th of July too.
Oh,
so it was like
wow.
a big thing, and my family's military. So my whole dad's side, both sides of my family.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, I love that you said that those are your most important shows.
They're most important shows we play.
I agree. 100%.
Without them, just to make it even clearer, without them, there are no bands getting on stages to play the little love songs that they thought up in the middle of the night. Like that doesn't exist.
We can go into this kind of like social thing that's happening, but it's unfortunately you don't see that kind of support for our troops.
Right.
For what made America.
Yeah.
That we are literally the freest country still on earth. We're heading towards something else. And for people not to know that that's what our veterans have done, is kept this country free.
Right.
And we owe that to them, whether you believe in it or not. The reason why you can say you don't believe in it, the reason why you can say you like or dislike a president, the reason why you can gather and speak your mind is because of our military.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I leave politics. I don't get into politics, but when my countrymen and countrywomen are in the far-flung corners of this globe, and I get the opportunity to go over there and sing some songs that maybe make them feel good for a little while, that's all I care about.
Good.
That feels good.
I was, listening to you talk about your guitar and your video, and with Tiffany Amber Thiessen, and talking about how that's your armor, and how you have that and you feel good. I know that when you take that away and you're like, okay, now just act.
Yeah.
That's, a lot of actors feel that way, which is weird. They'll put themselves into a character or clothes.
Right.
When I used to act, and it's been a long time, but you put it on and you become that character.
Right.
And without them, it's like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Some, not all.
Yeah.
But I was feeling like that's maybe how that was for you. It's almost like it took your character away.
Well, so this was, we did the You're a God video, and Tiffany Amber Thiessen was kind enough to join us and star in the video. And she did a fantastic job, unsurprisingly. And she's a fantastic person, and I just think she's wonderful. But there were a couple of moments where I had to sort of not just be the guy who was pretending to be singing the song with his guitar and his bandmates around him. And it was this really strange experience, taking the guitar away from me. My whole sort of energy kind of withered. It was like, I don't know, my confidence disappeared, right? And I mean, truthfully, even now when I'm sitting here talking to you, I'd feel better if I had a guitar in my hands.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
Yeah.
I'm like, would you feel more comfortable? We have one hanging on the wall.
Yeah, if I could just like put it here and just be like, oh, it's my safe place. But it is kind of a natural thing. I mean, that's, I bear my sort of myself in this safe place, surrounded and protected by this music, by the guitar, by my bandmates. And so Tiffany gave me some acting lessons on the set.
Yeah.
And she was telling me when I was looking at the camera, when you look at it, just look at it like it's your best friend. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what? Yeah. And she's like, yeah, just look at it like you're talking to your best friend. And all of a sudden, everything kind of started to change. Yeah. And I've thought about that whenever I have, and it doesn't happen very often, but if I have a teleprompter or something and I need to be reading something, and I'm looking at the camera, you're my best friend.
Yeah.
I'm doing it right now. What's up, best friend? No, but yeah, it's a change in focus, but I did not feel comfortable at first at all. I still don't really, but it was great. She really helped me that day. Yeah,
it's like talking just to one person. You're just talking to one person. Don't make it like you're talking to all the people that are watching this.
No.
And in radio too.
Yeah.
If you're talking to people on air and it's just you talking, you're talking to one person.
Right.
You're not talking to thousands or hundreds of thousands of people that are listening. You're talking to one person.
Right.
Yeah. So
I like
it's the same. Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, speed round.
Go. Where'd he go?
Do you believe in ghosts?
It's so funny. I was recently asked that on another podcast, which will not be named, and I said no, and I think I've changed my mind. I think I believe in ghosts now.
And what is a ghost to you?
Well, a ghost to me, I feel like I better believe in them, because if a ghost exists and they know that I don't believe in ghosts, then they're going to fully come and try to change my mind. So I'd rather just be like, yeah, I believe in you guys. All of you, keep doing your thing. Go to someone else who doesn't believe in you, because I believe in you.
You're rattling of chains.
Yeah, I don't want any of it.
If there was a band you could play with, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, my favorite band of all time is Rush.
Oh yeah.
And I used to fantasize and dream that I'd be at a concert and Alex Lifeson, the guitar player, would get a scrape on his finger or something and not be able to play the show. And Geddy Lee would go up on the microphone and be like, I'm sorry, is there anybody out there in the audience that knows how to play our Rush show? And I'd raise my hand and I'd be like, I totally do, even though P.S. I completely wouldn't be able to play their Rush show, because the shows were incredible and the songs were really complicated and everything. But that was the dream. So yeah, I mean, plus I have I became really, really, really dear friends with Neil Peart. Yeah. And and it's really sad that he's gone. So for a lot of reasons, and I would want Alex to be there because I wouldn't want Alex to like be left out. I would play distant second guitar to Alex Lifeson and Rush.
That's awesome. What's one thing you're most proud of?
You know, it's actually, it ties back to everything you want. When we were trying to make it to the next level, I know this is a speed round, so
it's okay.
when we were trying to make it to the next level, get signed by a major label, my songs weren't good enough. And I wasn't a good enough singer. That's just the truth. And there were about 6 or 8 months where I really worked hard. I really applied myself. I studied the craft. I tried to understand the craft better. I worked at becoming a singer, a better singer. And in that time, the 6 to 8 month period, I wrote about 100 songs, and I completely changed the way I sing. So I'm really proud of myself for applying myself and doing what needed to be done.
And it did get you where you needed to be.
It did. It really did. Yeah.
So congratulations. That's like Michael Jordan. He stayed. You know, when everybody left after practice, he stayed an hour or two.
I love being compared to Michael Jordan. Yeah. I think it's apt.
So first, when you walked in, I thought, wow, Michael Jordan,
right?
Of music.
He's bald. Matt's bald.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
some people would think that's where it stopped, but that's hilarious.
It's true. You have to put in the extra work. Oh, it's so fun. All right. Gosh, I can't believe we have to go. You have to come back.
I'd love to. Sign me up.
Okay, awesome. Especially when you get your sponsor.
Yes. Once I get my AG1 sponsorship, I will come and we'll do it on. We'll drink it on air.
Yeah.
And you can and we'll have your sludge water.
Okay, sludge water. Yeah, that's a good one. Sludge water.
Sludge water.
That's better than mud water. Sludge water, because that's what it is.
Well, you know Rammstein drinks sludge water.
They do. Totally.
100%.
They're the vision of health. No. Oliver and Paul, I believe it. 100%.
Yes.
The rest of the guys, maybe Christoph, but no, the rest of the guys, no way.
No sludge water?
No.
All right.
No.
Okay.
I think they need it.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.